Good morning, grade 5. So, today we are going to be learning about shapes and transformation. This is part 2. So, last week's lesson was part 1. I'm doing part 2 right now. I'm going to do a little bit of a review of what we did last week, and then I will get into the lesson. So last week we talked about lines, and we said parallel lines are lines that go straight or sideways. However they go, they could go horizontal or vertical or diagonal, as long as they never ever meet. So they're just going to keep going right straight. There's no intersection point between them. Lines that do meet are called intersection lines, and they just meet randomly. It doesn't have to be a 90-degree angle. Perpendicular, on the other hand, are two lines. They cross each other, and then when they cross each other, they create an angle of 90 degrees. So line 1, line 2 give you perpendicular lines. Okay. We also talked about different shapes, and we said that rhombus has 2D shape. The 2D shape has four sides, two parallel sets. Trapezoid has only one parallel set and it has four sides. Square and rectangle both have four perpendicular sets, so four 90-degree angle, and they also have four parallel sets. So this is just the work from last week. You can go back and see what we did, and you can see the lessons that I explained all of these in details, and that would help you. Today's lesson, we're going to talk about 2D shapes and 3D shapes. So, 2D shapes are just basic shapes or like flat shapes. They don't have any third dimension to them. So things like triangle, circle, square, rectangle, just the basic shapes are called 2D shapes. 3D shapes, on the other hand, they are more of a 3D diagrams. So they're like, you have pyramid, you have a cone, you have a sphere, you have a cube, and you have a cupid. Okay, so these are just some of the things that we need to know. When we look at different shapes, we have to study what they all mean. So for this one here, for example, the face is just the top part. Sometimes we even could call this the face. It really depends. An edge would just be the lines, so like the edge of the object. And then the vertex is where they are meeting. It's just a fancy way of saying the intersection point. Okay, but we just call it the vertex. So three terms you need to know. You need to know what a face is. So you need to know what an edge is, and you need to know what a vertex is. And I explained it to you right here, so you should be able to, see it here. A face is just the face of the shape, edge is the edge of the shape, and vertex is the point where the lines meet. Okay, this here, I do want you to do the work. On the last worksheet, a lot of our friends missed those kind of questions, and you just gave me a blank sheet. I don't want you to do that for this assignment. I did return it to many people, but I want you to do this correctly so I don't have to return it to anyone. These slides here are all work slides, and they're easy questions, so please don't skip them. So it says here, drag a dot to the diagram. So like, is this here a 3D shape or is it a 2D shape? You can actually grab this, like this, and then you can put it whatever you think the answer is. Okay, so it's just like that. All you have to do is take it, drag it, put it down where you believe it belongs. So this is 2D shapes or 3D shapes, and then you can decide by looking at this. The next slide shows also some work for you to do. We are trying to find the shape that has three faces to it. It has two edges and it has zero vertex. So which shape would that be? If it doesn't really make sense to you, then leave it. Do other ones that would make more sense. I'll end part 1 and then I'll start part 2.